Welcome back to Can Business Save the Planet? My name is Alex Schulze, and today I am joined by Bill Johnston from Recover Brands. Recover specializes in manufacturing sustainable apparel. They make hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and everything out of recycled content. Not only are they making their products out of recycled content, but they also recycle their products into new products. We have an awesome conversation talking about certifications, the overall apparel industry, and why it gets such a bad rap. We have a great conversation. I'm really excited for you guys to listen. Let's dive in. All right. What is going on, Bill? It's a pleasure to meet you, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, Alex. I appreciate you having me today. It's great to meet you, and I'm excited to have a conversation with you. Really have enjoyed working with 4Ocean thus far, and yeah, man, excited for the conversation.
Awesome. Well, let's dig in. I'm really looking forward to the conversation. So, I'd love to, if you could give the listeners a little bit of background on Recover's brand journey, like how you guys started and how you've grown over the past, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, so Recover is a sustainable apparel company. We founded the business in 2010, so we're approaching our 15th year in business, which is kind of hard to believe. On one hand, it feels like we started yesterday and very much in early startup days, where on the other hand, feels like we've been at this for a long time. So
Yeah.
but it's been a really fun journey. I started the business when I was 24, so pretty fresh out of school. I was actually working in the outdoor adventure travel business at the time. So I was guiding backpacking, mountaineering trips, taking teenagers on these kind of outward bound Knowles type trips, if you're familiar with those types of expeditions, a lot of wilderness travel, that sort of thing. But I really fell in love with the sustainability and environmental education side of that. Really, was passionate about environmental education, and actually had a textile background. So I grew up in North Carolina. Families in textiles. I went to NC State, was in the College of Textiles, and kind of had that background along with political science and environmental policy studies as well when I was in school. And at that time, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was guiding trips, and knew that I wanted to get into some sort of sustainable business. Learned about this technology, and kind of started it as a side project, and it's really snowballed from there. So it's been a fun ride over the last 15 years. And I think one thing that gets me as excited about anything is just how much the sustainable conversation has evolved since 2010. It was pretty novel concept at the time. A lot of people kind of thought we were, crazy for doing what we were, setting out to do. But we've been mission driven since the very beginning, and really kind of used our mission as our North Star and kind of guiding light in everything we do and in the way we operate.
I love that. And that's awesome. You guys are some of the OGs. 2010, you're right. Sustainability wasn't really top of mind. It wasn't a big conversation, especially with businesses. So I love to hear that you guys have been there from the beginning. And, if someone asked exactly like what type of products do you guys offer and what you specialize in, what would you tell them?
Yeah, so we specialize in lifestyle and performance apparel and accessories. Our bread and butter, t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos. We do other accessories like socks and hats and tote bags, that sort of thing. But our best-selling product is a t-shirt, and then a sweatshirt kind of right behind that. And what's kind of unique for us is we manufacture everything from start to finish using recycled cotton and recycled plastics. Everything's 100% recycled. Also recyclable at the end of the garment's life, which is a huge piece of it for us. But what we do really well is kind of serving as a sustainable blank canvas for other brands to co-brand with us. And it's similar to how we're working with 4Ocean, with using our products and our manufacturing process to take other designs and prints and put those on our products, and using Recover as the that product that sustainable product that can help tell the story and elevate those designs, and really co-branding with other organizations.
Got it. Okay. So and do you guys offer kind of like a drop ship process, and how do you typically set that up? Are you doing custom orders, or I'm curious to hear kind of the models that you offer?
Yeah, so we do sell our own brand, direct to consumer through our website, as well as through retail partners. But about 95% of our business is customization. So we work with other, companies where, and it's a kind of across a lot of different industries, everything from, small mom and pops to Fortune 500 companies, where we're able to take their logos, designs, and then print them on our products. And we have in-house screen printing, embroidery, direct to garment. We do all of our own embellishment. We also sell blanks to other screen printers and decorators as well. But yeah, we're able to drop ship and ship directly to customers. So through what we call our zero waste online store, we actually have the ability to print on demand. So we're printing orders in real time as the orders come in. And what that does is it really eliminates a lot of waste and allows us to not tie up, inventory with designs that haven't been sold yet. So,
Sure.
with our online platform, orders will come in, we print them, and then we're able to ship, within 5-6 business days, directly to end consumers. We also do a lot of, bulk printing as well. But yeah, we're really focused on, the drop shipping model, as well as bulk orders.
Got it. Okay. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about just the industry. You mentioned, leveraging recycled materials as well as the recyclability of the actual garments. So if we separated those two into different topics, I'd love to start with the recycled materials and recycled content. So can you talk a little bit about the textile industry from a large perspective, and then understanding how you guys are really getting after it in terms of using recycled content and trying to leverage sustainability practices?
Yeah, so the textile industry, and what a lot of people don't realize is actually one of the largest polluters in the world. There's tons of excess textiles that, unfortunately are often destined for the landfill, right? So it's a huge problem, and it's a growing problem, especially with the fast fashion industry and the mass production of products that just are not designed very well. And so we really try to take the approach of kind of being the antithesis of fast fashion. We really have this slow fashion model where we're designing and building products that are extremely durable, meant to last a long time, and then it have an end of life story as well. So everything that we make is designed to be recycled at the end of the garment's life. And I think that's a part of the manufacturing process that often gets overlooked is, stuff is made and then at the end of the product's life, it has to go somewhere, right? And so we've really been focused since day one on building this circular system where we have the ability to take back our old products, break the fibers down, and put them back into the supply chain. And then we're also able to take other products as well or other textiles and put those back into our supply chain. But really what separates us and makes Recover unique is the recycled cotton story. So recycled cotton, our main ingredient comes from a lot of industrial waste. So a good way to visualize that is if you think about the manufacturing process, big rolls of fabric are made. They go to textile facilities. Patterns are put down. Inevitably try to reduce waste as much as possible. But there's always going to be some textile scraps that are left over. And so what we do is we actually go in, take all of those scraps and textile waste. We sort everything by color, break the fibers down, and then we blend it with recycled plastic. So
Okay.
all the plastic is post-consumer waste, PET, so water bottles, Coke bottles, Gatorade bottles, all the stuff that you guys are finding in your cleanups, right? There's so much waste out there, and we're able to take that recycled plastic, melt those fibers down and actually blend it with the recycled cotton to create a 50-50 blend. Okay. We also do a lot of 100% recycled poly products as well, which you find in more of our performance products. But as we look at the textile industry as a whole, we're really trying to provide solutions to that industrial waste that I mentioned from the manufacturers and cutting room floors, post-consumer plastics, and then a big innovation for us over the last couple of years has been the ability to take back post-consumer garments as well. So we're actually taking shirts that, people are clearing out their drawers at home. We're taking out dead stock and old inventory and basically giving those fibers new life. And so that's been a huge innovation for us, is just trying to push the envelope on a lot of textile to textile recycling solutions, and of course repurposing as much recycled plastic as well.
Got it. Okay, that's awesome to hear. I love to hear the fact you guys are taking materials back, and I'm curious to hear, when you mention you're sorting them by color, that's things that we do in our cleanups a lot. Is in order to recycle effectively, we got to sort and clean thoroughly. So we're sorting them by type, color, condition, etc. So you guys are actually sorting them by color, and then is that just like a shredding process that's breaking it down to just a raw material and trying to get it back to a more fibrous state that you then create the blend with the recycled plastic, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. And in the sorting process is, so labor intensive, and a huge part of what we do is trying to get, make sure that what we're bringing back is ending up in the right spot. So we have a team that's dedicated to sorting the materials that come in. The post-industrial stuff is a little bit more manageable because we know exactly the fabric contents from those scraps. So yeah, when we're sorting the post-industrial scraps, that part of the process is a little bit easier for us to control. Same thing with the recycled plastic process, where we're working with recycling centers that are going through that whole process of bringing in post-consumer waste and basically getting it back into a fibrous state. But the post-consumer process is definitely more involved. We have to go through and figure out, what fibers were used in this originally. Is it 100% cotton? Is it 100% polyester? Is it already a blend? We have to assess things like, is there a screen print on the product? Buttons, zippers, all that kind of stuff all have to be removed. So there's definitely a very much a grading process that kind of goes through, so we can determine which fibers are best to use. And then with the post-consumer waste, we're actually blending it with more post-industrial waste, both on the cotton side as well as the polyester side, and really ultimately trying to achieve that 50-50 blend. One thing that is very evident in our products is when you're working with recycled cotton, oftentimes those fibers are very short. So that's why we blend it with the recycled plastic to create longer fibers that, will ultimately make the garments much stronger and more durable.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's incredible. I didn't realize, that process really existed where you could recycle the different materials and turn them into new apparel. That's awesome. And when it comes to innovation in the space, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, I know that the textiles industry as a whole has gotten a pretty bad rap. There's these different locations around the world. There's these Google satellite images of just mountains and sand and football fields of these huge piles of clothes that are just dumped year after year with fast fashion. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts about the innovation in this space. Where is it currently, and where do you think that it needs to go in the future?
Yeah, I think, currently, I think a lot of good things are happening, that there's more awareness behind it. So that's always in one of the first steps is the public kind of acknowledging there's a problem here.
Yeah.
But we're still in very much a lot of the early stages, especially with large scale manufacturing. We're a smaller brand. We're growing, and we're trying to raise the bar a bit and kind of change expectations on what the capabilities really are. But one of the biggest challenges is just with large brands and large manufacturing not thinking through the end of life story with a lot of these garments, and
Sure.
in designing products that can be recycled. But I am encouraged by the fact that the conversation is happening, and there's a lot of innovation happening, and a lot of players that are trying to figure out solutions to a more circular economy. So that part is very, very encouraging to me, and I'm optimistic by nature, right? I think
Sure.
we kind of have to be in this space of doing the type of work that we're doing, of seeing where the future can go. But I think at the end of the day, what we're trying to accomplish is is really bringing the technologies that we're using in our manufacturing process to the masses and making it, more adopted with larger brands. We have a manufacturing facility in El Salvador where we're doing everything from start to finish. So recycle. I mean, that's everything from sorting. We spin our own yarn, knit our own fabric, and cut and sew our own garments. And we're trying to showcase what we're doing there as a model that you can do anywhere, but it takes investment and brands wanting to buy in and kind of see what those opportunities are. But what has me really encouraged is just that the growing awareness from consumers. And I think it's important that we, share these types of stories and educate consumers as much as possible. Because I think at the end of the day, a lot of people do want to do good and they want to participate in this stuff, but we have to make it easy for them to understand and also have some of these vetting processes set up where, people can see, okay, this brand is following these rules and these standards. And, the greenwashing, for example, is something that we battle all the time with. There being a lot of misinformation out there. So we're just trying to use our process and our story of the way we're making things and making it more available to folks. And a big part of that is through third-party certifications. It's a big reason why we certify everything that we make. And
I was just about to ask that.
Stamp of approval on everything.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that in regards to certifications. Like, you mentioned that there's a lot of greenwashing. I mean, I can't tell you how many brands out there that are not doing the necessary work to truly be sustainable, but they'll come up with, they'll put the word green in their name, or they'll use symbols and their logos are very suggestive. And yet when you really look under the hood, it's like, wait, they're not really doing anything at all. This is all kind of a play. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the certification process and what you would recommend or that you feel carries a lot of weight when it comes to the legitimacy of these claims.
Yeah. So, and I totally agree with you that, the certifications are a huge part of, what needs to be out there. And for businesses of all types, I mean, you guys, it's a big reason why when, you search for Ocean and a lot of the information you guys are putting out there, you're letting people know that you're a certified public benefit corporation, right? And that stuff means a lot. We do the same thing with, our 1% for the planet giving. There's businesses of all type of, all industries that, hey, if you're doing these things, the business cares and their intentions are in the right spot. So I think a lot of those things are really important. On the textile side of things specifically, we make sure that we're working with third-party certifications to certify, the raw material side of things and the actual making of the fiber and yarn and textiles. And then, and then making sure that our factories are all certified as well, because, the planet aspect is a huge piece of it, but people are as well. And we want to make sure that we're making products in, all of our factory conditions and fair labor and wages and all of those things that are really near and dear to our brand and what we do. So I think a big part of it is for companies to share those certifications, right? Look for them on company listings and websites, product pages, all of that kind of stuff, because it is important. And, the more consumers see those certifications and those seals of approval, people just become more and more informed, and you can kind of sift through some of that greenwashing a little bit easier.
Yep, I understand, and I think that's so important because there's so many brands that are not putting in the hard work, and the ones that are, they really need that recognition. So I completely understand. I'd like to understand about your partnerships. How are partnerships helping to drive Recover's sustainability goals overall?
Yeah, so partnerships have been a kind of a huge part of our business since the very beginning. We of course sell our own branded products through retail channels and direct to consumer. But at the end of the day, we've found that we can make a much bigger impact through partnerships and kind of working together. That the whole idea of co-branding has been really a cornerstone of our business. And it kind of the whole mindset and attitude of, a rising tide lifts all ships. And we very much kind of operate that way. We feel like the work that we're doing can ultimately have a much bigger impact if we're working with other brands and expanding our reach. And Four Ocean's a great example, right? Like we wholeheartely believe in the work that you guys are doing and your mission, and
Appreciate that.
Want to support that. Yeah. So we like telling those stories, and we feel like that collective story is really powerful and ultimately can help you reach a larger audience. So when we look at, across industries, we do a lot in kind of the running and outdoor space. We do a lot of corporate wear as well, where we're working with, companies of all sizes to produce their merchandise. And we want Recover to be that way that they can tell their sustainability story, right? That use the shirt or the sweatshirt as a vehicle to inspire people to be more responsible stewards of the environment. We often kind of in the early days, one of the ways we would share our story with how we make products is letting people know, hey, that shirt's made from 8 plastic bottles. And yes, it was kind of that like light bulb moment for a lot of people, whether you're an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old. It was something that people could kind of understand, and you could see that, that light bulb going off. And we really tried to lean into that as much as we could on the individual level and then also on the brand level. And it's a big reason why we share a lot with like impact reports on our sustainability reporting when we're working with different partners. We want them to know, like, hey, whether you placed an order for 100 shirts or 100,000 shirts, let us quantify the impact of that order so you can see, how many plastic bottles you're diverting from the landfill, how much water you're saving, how much energy you're saving, how much carbon you're pulling out of the atmosphere by choosing a more sustainable manufacturing method. And so for us, it's been really important to share all that information and make it accessible for customers of all sizes. And we just have that attitude and approach of like, we're in this is a partnership. Let's share these stories and this information together. And ultimately, the goal is to inspire more people to be better stewards of the environment.
Understandable. Well, I appreciate that. I'm curious, if you guys have ever thought about potentially leveraging some form of ocean plastic into your products.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear it quite a bit. People want to see like, hey, I'm putting on this event and this is the waste that we're collecting at the event. Can we put it back into this specific shirt or this batch of shirts? And we're getting closer to being able to do that for like a specific, like, hey, here's your cleanup. This plastic is going from A to B, to our recycling facility and back into the product. The reality is, it would go into like a larger batch of that product. Yes, it's very challenging to say, hey, we collected, and sorted this amount of plastic and now we created 100 shirts with it. But ocean plastic for sure, we would love to get, build more of a story where we can actually take back, plastic from, one of your cleanups and put it directly back into this, this specific product. So something we're very interested in, I think could be a really cool project for us to maybe, try to tackle it at some point. The big thing is like making sure that the plastic is collected is going back through the proper, recycling, supply chain for us to then get that fiber. So for example, we work with a recycling center here in North Carolina that brings in plastic waste from, a lot of it comes from Waste Management, but it's recycling municipalities all over. The same thing could be done for an ocean cleanup. It's like, hey, let's send this plastic back to this recycling center, and we actually know exactly where those those bottles or plastic waste is being broken down and put back into fiber.
Got it. Yes, I'm very familiar. We've gone through all the different hurdles as well, understanding that UV degradation, contamination, different things to as far as affecting the extrusion line and that shower head nozzle, any little bit of dirt in there or any contamination. And yeah, I understand exactly what you're talking about. And we've worked very hard to to be able to clean our plastic to the point where we can use that. And I think you made a great point. A lot of people ask us a very similar thing of, hey, if I make the recycled, can we utilize the plastic that was collected for these specific 4Ocean bracelets? And we'd have to explain, just like you just mentioned, that it would be a portion of a larger run because the extrusion line requires so much volume of plastic that, let's say you get a few 100,000 pounds of PET from a cleanup. Sure, yes, we absolutely can look at that. And as long as it goes through the entire system and you can know that there's not any other recycled content mixed in there, you don't have to purge the lines and get everything cleaned out. But yeah, we say the same exact thing, is that we could do batch runs that include the plastic. We can do 100% ocean plastic, but to do 100% from just one specific cleanup, we have to have a volume large enough to really go through that entire extrusion line to get the volume of thread for us cord, that we turn it into cord to then make the product. So you're saying it's a comparable thing when someone asks to collect the plastic at an event and then make it into a product.
Exactly. Yeah, it's and I think with that, there's all types of challenges with recycling infrastructure, and I think you guys probably see it as well. Like, hey, we do have all of this material that is material that can be recycled and put back into product, but you really have to be intentional with where how you're using it, and then also working with the right partners throughout your supply chain to make sure it's ending up in the right spot. So that's just an area that I think, like you guys, we're just putting a ton of energy into making sure that we're, thinking about that and being very intentional throughout the whole manufacturing process.
Got it. Understandable. Well, Bill, looking ahead, I'm curious in terms of what's next for Recover Brands. What are you looking at? What are you excited about for the future? And what do you guys plan on really doing to drive the mission forward and grow your business?
Yeah. So as we are, going to celebrate our 15th birthday next year, which
congratulations, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's an exciting milestone for us, but in so many ways we feel like we're really just getting going on a lot of things.
Yep.
And I mentioned this earlier, it's just been so encouraging to see the growing awareness and interest around sustainability. I think a lot of that is out of necessity, right?
Yeah.
Like, people are seeing climate-related issues more and more in their daily lives, but we're definitely encouraged by more and more people just being in tune with it. And so we're really trying to get in front of more people and let them know, who we are and what we do, and working with, core key partners and brand partners, and, 4Ocean being one of them. We're excited to share that story together and to be working with you guys to amplify our message and what we're doing. We have some fun stuff in the works with new product innovation. I feel like we're getting a lot better on the product development side of things, of building, some more technical pieces. We're also doing a lot with our core products, which is the recycled plastic, recycled cotton product. We use it in our eco tee as well as our classic tee, and really fine-tuning that technology and just continuing to get it in front of more folks and make the product, better and better with each run. We have that attitude, that mindset of just kind of being on that constant pursuit of better, right? And
yes,
and making things more accessible to people. I think that's another huge part of it, is making sustainability available to everyone, right?
Yes.
When we first started in 2010, I think the green community or the sustainability community was a much smaller group of people, right? It was people that they were seeking it out. They already were passionate about it. We're at a spot now where it's much more available to the masses, and we're trying to be a vehicle to do that and make sure that it's accessible from an availability standpoint, a pricing standpoint. And just educating more people about what we're doing, while staying super true to our mission and our core values, and continuing to use that as our guiding light.
Love it. Well, Bill, I really appreciate it. This has been a fantastic conversation. I love learning a little bit more about the textile industry and how sustainability is coming to life throughout that. And if there's anything else that you want the viewers to know just about sustainability, textile industry, or anything like that, was there anything that you'd want to leave them with?
Yeah, well, Alex, really appreciate you having me today. Really have enjoyed the conversation and look forward to continuing it. I think the main thing is just, continue to, or I guess what I would share with the listeners is, continue to follow along, do your research and continue to, believe in and invest in companies that are doing their things the right way. We're very much, we very much take a lot of pride in the work that we're doing, but there's a lot of other companies out there doing great work. And whether it's, just in textiles or business in general, it's just, look for those certifications, look for companies that are doing things the right way, and, support those companies with your dollars and by being, I guess, sharing the good work that all these brands are doing together. So, really appreciate what you guys are doing at 4Ocean. It's inspiring stuff, and you guys get us fired up on the work that we're doing as well, just by you guys leading it by example. So thanks for having me, and thanks for being a great partner with us.
Of course. And I appreciate the kind words, Bill. We really appreciate it, and we're going to keep driving it home and keep cleaning the ocean. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Bill. We really appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you shortly.
Thanks, Alex.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Really appreciate Bill coming on and talking about sustainable apparel. It was amazing learning a little bit more about the industry. If you guys are enjoying these conversations, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. What do you want to hear? Who do you want us to talk to about sustainability, and learn more about how business can save the planet? Until next time, guys.